Station Houston, are you ready for the event?
Station is ready for the event.
Houston ACR, this is Mission Control Houston. Please call station for a voice check.
Station, this is Houston ACR. How do you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear.
Thanks. Please stand by for opening remarks.
I'm Sylvester Turner, Mayor of City of Houston. It's my pleasure to kick off this unique educational event with my appreciation to the astronauts aboard the International Space Station, NASA, and the Ismaili Council for the Southwestern United States. The Ismaili Council's initiative, facilitated through volunteers, strives to improve educational outcomes amongst children from birth through college by embracing the sharing of knowledge to help improve the quality of life of people around the world. Today is one such exciting program. Space City is home to the Johnson Space Center, helping to explore the final frontier, and in so doing, expanding the scientific and technological advancements that benefit all of humankind. Today's Inflight downlink is particularly exciting as we have students from many different school districts participating, and I hope they come away inspired to pursue educational and career pathways that will enable them to help push the boundaries of our scientific understanding and technological advancements. So, without further delay, here is the first question.
Hi, my name is Nikia Machuku and I attend Maryland Intermediate in Houston, Texas. My question is, now that you're an astronaut and you have been off of Earth, do you think of Earth differently or do you notice different things about Earth?
Thanks for the question. I think all astronauts start to feel differently about Earth once they've come off the Earth and are able to look back at Earth from space. You see Earth as a single entity. You don't see the lines that we draw on maps that we call borders. You see all of the Earth as one thing, and you see the very thin layer of atmosphere that keeps us all alive and safe on Earth. And when you see it, how small it is, how thin it is compared to the vast blackness of space, you realize how important it is for us to protect our atmosphere so it can continue to protect us.
Hi, my name is Nuruddin and I attend Ollie Middle School in Houston, Texas. My question is, what happens if a liquid accidentally spills on a machine in the space station?
The question about liquids and getting, I guess, liquids on your machines in space station is a great one. I brought some liquid to show you. This is one of our drink bags, and it has some orange drink in it. Normally, I wouldn't bring orange drink out of the galley because, as you can imagine, if it comes out of the straw, it could make a big mess and could get on some of the equipment. The equipment is protected. It will shut itself down if it has a short, and it will protect the rest of the equipment on the same power channel. Liquid moves in a really interesting way in space. I'll try to show you without making a huge mess. But one of the things that's neat about it is because it creates a little ball, if it does get away from you, usually you have a time that you can try to go after it. So you see a little bit of liquid coming out of the straw there. We'll give it a little bit more. And then if I shake the straw, whoop, you can see how it comes off. But you can also imagine how that might make a giant mess. So it's important to keep track of your liquids in space.
Hi, my name is Claire Maya White. I go to the Honor Roll School in Sugar Land, Texas. My question is, how does your knowledge of oceanography help you in space?
Thanks for the question. I do have a degree in oceanography. I also have a degree in aerospace engineering. And the thing that my oceanography experience really contributes to my career now is the knowledge and experience that I gained working on ships to deploy and recover instruments in the ocean, and also scuba diving to deploy and recover instruments in the ocean. The skills that you need to be able to do that really translate well to working in a micro-G environment like the space station.
Hi, my name is Charlotte Escobar and I attend Burbank Middle School. My question for you is, how does the fabric that is used for your spacesuits help you?
The spacesuits that we wear inside the capsule that brings us up here is designed to protect us in the event that there's a problem with our atmosphere, either if the capsule were to depressurize or if we had a fire and we had to put it out and then we had some toxic fumes in our atmosphere. So the suit is designed to hold pressure, a strong enough pressure to keep us able to continue to breathe and work. And so the suit has to be able to hold all of that pressure. It also protects our thermal environment so that we don't get too hot or too cold.
Hi, my name is David Penniker and I attend Sitarsha Middle School. My question is, what is your protocol if a dangerous or unknown object is on a collision course with your manned spacecraft?
There are facilities on the ground that are able to track objects that are large enough to be a problem for us. And so if we were on a collision course, folks on the ground would be able to calculate how close they thought that object was going to come to us. And if they thought it was going to come too close, we would move the spacecraft to move away from it.
Hi, my name is Nico Cavazos. I attend Stafford Middle School in Stafford, Texas. And my question is, what is the most beautiful thing you've seen in space? Thank you.
Well, the most beautiful thing I've seen from space is our Earth. We have such a beautiful planet, and when we do get time, we love to look out the window, whether we're passing over the ocean and you have these beautiful, unusual cloud formations, or you're passing over land and you can see some gorgeous mountains, maybe with snow on the top. Another thing that's really beautiful to watch is lightning storms over the surface of the Earth. The way the clouds light up and then the light moves around inside the clouds, it's very, very beautiful.
Hi, my name is Sarah Haji, and I attend the Audi International School in Houston, Texas. My question for you is, are you planning to go to Mars in 2035? And if so, what are you doing to prepare for it?
Well, we are definitely planning to go to Mars. I'm not sure it's going to be me, but it might be one of you watching today. I'll sure be watching from Earth as you do it. But absolutely, we're preparing for that. Think of all the things that we would need living on Mars. We would need a place to live, so a pressurized habitat. We would need air to breathe, and we would need water to drink, and we would need food, as well as a power source, vehicles, all kinds of things that we need to support life. So one of the ways we're preparing for that is by living and working here on the International Space Station, where we have to continuously clean our air, we recycle our water, and we've even done some experiments with growing food. We also have to be able to fix anything that breaks on the International Space Station, and so we try to build equipment that's very robust and not too hard to fix, although that can be a challenging thing to do. So these are some of the ways that we're preparing for going to Mars.
Hi, my name is Janae Reyes. I attend Stovall Middle School in Houston. My question is, how long does it take an astronaut to train to go on a mission?
Astronaut candidate training, from when you get hired to be an astronaut candidate to when you graduate as an astronaut, that usually takes about 2 years, where you're learning all of the basic systems for flying in space. And then mission-specific training is anywhere from 1 year to 2 years, depending on the mission and depending on the experiences that you've already had.
Hi. My name is Basil Alani, and I attend the Village Middle School in Houston. And my question is, how do star constellations look like in space? Do they look different compared to how they look from Earth? Thank you.
I think the question is about constellations and how they look from space compared to how they look on Earth. They really look the same. We are far enough away from the stars that are making those pictures that we perceive as pictures from Earth, that they look the same to me, even though I'm a couple hundred miles above you. The one thing that is quite different is because I don't have the atmosphere between myself and the stars. They don't twinkle the way they do on Earth. They're just kind of a solid light that's on. But I still see the same patterns that you see.
Hello, my name is Sirius Golshan. I attend Garden Oaks Montessori in Houston, Texas. My question is whether the astronauts, after seeing the Earth from so high up, change their worldview when they're all the way back down.
I know for myself that my worldview changed a little bit, or really quite a lot, after seeing the Earth from space. And again, seeing that very thin layer of atmosphere that's what keeping us safe and alive on the Earth. It makes you feel very protective of the Earth when you get home again.
Hello, my name is Jason Reitman from the Honor Roll School in Sugar Land, Texas. My question is, does spending time in space affect the way you think?
It's interesting when you first get to space, your brain has to spend a lot of its processing power thinking in 3 dimensions in a way that we don't do as much on Earth. And so what can happen when you go from one module to another is that what you were thinking of as the floor suddenly seems like it's the ceiling, or instead of going, along sideways, it suddenly feels like you're dropping down. And so your brain has a lot of work to do to make sense of the environment and figure out where you're going. And so especially in the beginning, you can feel really slow, like you might make some silly mistakes or you might forget where you put something. And it really is just because your brain is spending a ton of processing power figuring out the environment. But you do get used to it. And of course, your brain is so good that it can switch back to your regular environment when you get back to Earth.
Hello, my name is Ayush Sharma, and I am a 7th grader at Tarsha Middle School in Sugar Land, Texas. My question is, how do things like food and other supplies reach the space station, and does the food even taste good?
That's a great question. Food is really important to all of us, obviously, and it can really affect your morale when there's lots of good food or not. And so food getting to the space station is a really important part of this endeavor. We have cargo vehicles, uncrewed cargo vehicles, that come regularly to the space station to bring us food and other supplies. And we have a great team of nutritionists on Earth that create a really interesting food system for us to make sure that we have enough variety and we don't get bored. I brought a couple of things to show you. We kind of already talked about the drinks, which come in these bags that we fill with water from our rehydration station. We have food that comes in these packets. The food has been treated at high heat to preserve it, so it's shelf stable. And this right here is chicken fajita. So we just put this in the warming oven, and we can have some chicken fajita. Of course, you need tortillas for chicken fajita, so I have some tortillas that come in a packet like this. And here's some hot sauce. You got to be careful with the hot sauce. Don't want to spill that. We also have rehydratable food. And let me show you that. This outer packet protects the food and gives it a longer shelf life when it's not exposed to light. So we tear that open, and then inside this packet is rice. So obviously you probably cooked rice at home. You need to add hot water. In this version, it's just a few minutes of warming afterwards. But this valve on the top, we put a needle in our rehydration station, has a needle. You can put hot or cold water. You dial up the right amount. Then you kind of push on a little bit, get the water nice and mixed in, and then you wait about 10 or 15 minutes. You can put it in the oven, and that's your rice. So we have a big variety of different kinds of food. Fresh food is always nice, too, and we usually get some fresh food when the cargo vehicles come as well, but that goes pretty quickly.
Hello, my name is Jeremiah Levi, and I attend Jones Middle School in Humble, Texas. And I would like to know, if there is a malfunction on the space station, would you have to fix it, or would they send somebody up there to fix it?
That is a great question. One of the things we spend a lot of time training is how to fix the different things on the space station. Some things are super complicated and require very specific training, but we try to cover most things with sort of general skills training, right? How to use the tools and how most of the things on space station are put together. The really great part, though, is we have a huge team of experts on the ground that know each piece of hardware really well, and we get to work with those people closely. They design procedures for us to help us fix the equipment when it breaks. So we don't have to send somebody up special just to fix one thing that breaks. We can work together as a team and fix it up here with the people and the equipment that we have.
Hi, My name is Steven Portillo, and I attend to Aga Academy in Houston, Texas. My question for NASA is if they have planned on landing in other moons.
The question was, does NASA have plans to land on other moons?
Oh, that's a great question. So right now we're working, as I'm sure you know, to put the first woman and the first person of color on Earth's moon, which is very exciting, and I hope to see that happen in the next few years. There's also some other interesting moons in our solar system. There's Europa, of course, one of Jupiter's moons that is an icy moon that they think might have oceans. And so it'll be a while, I think, before we can send people out there, but that certainly would be an interesting destination in our own solar system.
Hi, my name is Dakota Johnson, and I attend Jones Middle School in Houston, Texas. My question is, when training to become an astronaut, what is the single most hardest things you have to learn and master?
One of the coolest things about being an astronaut is the big variety of different things that you get to learn. So I trained as an engineer and an oceanographer, but I'm doing sometimes biology experiments up here, and sometimes I'm fixing the toilet. So there's a huge variety of things that you have to learn, which is a challenge in itself, but is also really the fun part about this job. A couple of things that are individually hard, language. So we have, of course, our international partners, Russian cosmonauts. Russian is a difficult language. It was for me to learn, but that's also an interesting challenge, and it's nice to be able to share a common language with our colleagues. The other thing that can be physically difficult is spacewalk training. So it's a big, bulky, heavy suit, and of course we're training on Earth in a big swimming pool, and so it is physically a very challenging thing to learn how to do. But really the variety of things is one of the challenges, but it's also what makes it a lot of fun.
Hello, my name is Jai and I go to Satarsha Middle School. My question is, what do you do if the connection between you and the workers on Earth breaks?
The question was, what do you do if communications or connections between the ground and you breaks?
So communication is a very important part of what we do, and being able to communicate with the ground in so many different ways is really helpful for us. But we are also trained to continue our operations without being able to talk to the ground, and we go through periods every day where we don't have continuous communication. If we had an emergency situation and our communication went down for some reason, we have very specific procedures to run through the different possibilities, why the communication might be down, and how to regain it. And so we have a really robust system, and we know how to respond in the event that the communication goes down.
Hello, my name is Juan Diego Hoyos Bernal, and I attend the Honor Roll School in Sugar Land, Texas. My question is, what happens if you lose power at the station, and how do you recover it? Thank you.
So power, of course, is another very important thing for us here on the space station. We have solar arrays that we capture energy from the sun, and we store that on batteries on the space station. We have what we call redundant systems, and so different power channels that are separated from one another, so we wouldn't lose all of our power all at once. If we did lose a power channel, we would be able to work through procedures, or the ground would be able to work through procedures. But if we weren't talking to the ground, we have procedures and we have training in how to respond to attempt to recover those power channels.
Hi, my name is Nagma Meherali Bandeli, and I serve as the chairperson for the Aga Khan Education Board for the Southwestern U.S. On behalf of the Smiley Council for the Southwestern U.S., I extend my appreciation to the astronauts aboard the space station, NASA, and school districts across the greater Houston area for this amazing opportunity to inspire young minds today.
Thanks for joining us aboard the International Space Station today.
Station, this is Houston ACR. That concludes the event. Thank you.
And thank you to all participants. Station, we're now resuming operational comm.